Okay, so we have a few things to do. First, I need to give Morgan the grimoire. Or maybe I shouldn't give it to her. I should give it to her. Morgan, we have to romance each other. I mean, it's important.
I await your command.
Oh, I don't like... I mean, I could command you to do some stuff, but... we have to discuss some personal stuff and things, so she loves us. Because that's... I guess Morgan is like the canon romance option, maybe? I'm not really sure. So let's discuss something personal. She loves me, so that's
We're
good.
in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any.
Okay. Why are you still here? Why are we still here? Just to suffer.
You helped me avoid the fate my mother had in store for me. At the very least, I think I can aid you in return.
Oh, it's about that.
Why? Do you wish me to leave? I can do so if you prefer.
No, I was just asking. I thought we were friends.
Are we? Then why do you ask such a question?
Oh, she was upset about this. I guess that makes sense. Sorry, Morgan. I mean, she still has 94 points. Okay, let's talk again.
Your command.
Discuss something
We're
personal.
in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any. Why? Do you wish me to
No,
leave?
I don't want you to
I
leave.
can do so if you prefer.
Maybe let's ask, does she want to leave? No, she wants to stay.
Then I assume our discussion ends here.
Oh, fuck. Okay, let's actually note, because losing 16 points just because of my stupidity isn't a good thing.
I await your
What's
command.
the third option, though?
We're in camp, so 'tis. Why? Do you wish me to leave?
Do you want to leave?
If I wanted to leave, then I would go.
No, she's upset. Okay. Yeah, it's this one. So it's better if we don't talk about that. Nothing personal.
I await your command.
So I guess your life in the wilds must have been very lonely.
At times, perhaps. A world full of people and buildings and things was all very foreign to me. If I wished companionship, I ran with the wolves and flew with the birds. If I spoke, 'twas to the trees.
Not to humans? Did they speak back? Wait. But you eventually left, yes?
Such simple pleasures will only enthrall for so long. I recall the first time I crept beyond the edge of the wilds. I did so in animal form, remaining in the shadows and watching these strange townsfolk from afar. I happened upon a noblewoman by her carriage, adorned in sparkling garments the likes of which I had never before seen. I was dazzled. This, to me, seemed what true wealth and beauty must be.
Oh, so that's why
I snuck
she
up
likes
behind her
jewelry.
and stole a hand mirror from the carriage. 'Twas encrusted in gold and crystalline gemstones, and I hugged it to my chest with delight as I sped back to the wilds.
Oh. What happened then?
Flemeth was furious with me. I was a child and had not yet come into my full power, and I had risked discovery for the sake of a pretty bauble.
I guess that
To
makes
teach
sense.
me a lesson, Flemeth took the mirror and smashed it upon the ground. I was heartbroken.
I mean, but you were just a child, weren't you?
And a foolish one. Flemeth was right to break me of my fascination. Beauty and love are fleeting and have no meaning. Survival has meaning. Power has meaning. Without those lessons, I would not be here today, as difficult as they might have been.
But you do like jewelry, and I guess mirrors too, so, not really. She still cares about beauty. I mean, well, they did make you stronger, didn't they?
They did indeed. To return to your original question, perhaps my time in the wilds was indeed lonely, but such was how it had to be. I find myself at times wondering what might have become of the girl with the beautiful golden mirror, but such fantasies have no place amidst reality.
Okay. That's just that conversation. Let's talk
I
more.
await your command.
I'd like to ask something.
So, full of questions,
Yes,
are you?
I am. How did you become a shape changer?
I was not born such. 'Tis a skill of Flemeth's, taught over many years in the wilds. The chastened have tales of we witches, saying that we assume the forms of creatures to watch them from hiding.
Oh.
When a child is alone and separate from his tribe, that is when we strike, dragging the young boy kicking and screaming to our lair to be devoured. A most amusing legend.
And the truth is... that's just a legend, isn't it?
So I assume. My mother has walked the wilds far longer than I. Who am I to suggest what things she has done and not done in her past? Why do you ask? Is there something specific you wish to know?
I mean, can you change into other human forms as well?
The form of an animal is different from my own. One may study the creature, learn to move as it does, think as it does. In time, this allows one to become as it is. I gain nothing by studying another human. I already am the same as they are. I learn nothing. So the answer is no, my human form is the only one I possess.
Would it technically be possible to become another human? Can anyone become a shape changer?
Anyone with sufficient will. But the act of transformation is a magical one. 'Tis a spell and thus requires a mage's talents. If you had a notion to learn such a skill for yourself, sadly, you must remain disappointed.
Okay. Do you spend a lot of time as an animal? Yes?
There were nights when the wilds called to me, 'tis true. You look upon the world around you and you think you know it well. I have smelled it as a wolf, listened as a cat, prowled shadows that you never dreamed existed.
Okay.
But my life is as a human. I am under no illusions to the contrary.
Okay. And what do the other animals think of you when you've changed? Oh yeah, that's actually a valid question.
They do not shy away from me. To their senses, I believe I seem like any other of their species. As to what they think, I truly cannot say. Just as I am still human, no matter my form, they are still animals. Thus they cannot speak, even were I to ask.
Oh, okay. I've never heard about magic like that. I mean, yeah, I guess.
No? 'Tis not unheard of in the remote corners of the world. There are traditions of magic outside of the circle of magi, despite what those mages would have you believe. Some of these traditions are old, indeed, passed down as carefully guarded lore from one generation to the next. The zealots of the chantry would uproot all such practitioners if they could. But as luck have it, some still exist. My mother is such a one.
Okay. Okay, I don't think she's gonna appreciate siding on the side of a chantry. But practitioners, I don't think she's gonna appreciate me calling her an apostate. I mean, this is probably the base, but isn't this open to abuse?
Not all apostates use the forbidden blood arts. Maleficarum do, but to condemn all who do not fall under the circle's thrall for the sake of what might be is a dangerous path to walk. There are those who look on the word apostate as meaning freedom.
Okay. I guess that's all I wanted to ask.
Indeed. Have you an opinion on my abilities, then? Am I an unnatural abomination to be put to the torch?
No, you're actually very useful. Maybe tied to a flagpole and tickled. And that would just make her angry. No, just quite useful. I think she likes being admired and thought of as being useful.
Oh, you're simply full of surprises, little man, aren't you?
Oh hey,
But
that's
enough of such
offensive.
talk. Let us proceed, lest the dust gather on us.
Just because I'm a dwarf, you can't really call me a little man. That's offensive.
I await your command.
Can we talk about something else?
So, full of questions, are you?
Can you teach others to become shape changers? Actually, yeah. Let's just unlock that ability.
Possibly, if I had the desire to. I do not.
Oh. I should have known you to be a selfish bitch. No, no. Why not?
I was told to accompany you and to help you, and that I shall. This may extend to the teaching of my mother's skills in time. For now, I simply do not know you well enough. I promise nothing.
You have like 100% likability with me, don't you? Yeah, you have 100% approval.
I await your command.
Okay. Something else?
So, full of questions, are you?
So I guess we have to talk about something else first. Did you grow up in the wilds? I mean, yes, she did.
Why do you ask me such questions? I do not probe you for pointless information, do I?
I mean, you can probe me anytime. Nah. I'm just curious. Is there anything wrong with her?
Any number of cats could inform you of the answer to that question, but have it your way. What is it you asked if I grew up in the wilds? A curious question. Where else would you picture me? For many years it was simply Flemeth and I. The wilds and its creatures were more real to me than Flemeth's tales of the world of man. In time I grew curious. I left the wilds to explore what lay beyond, never for long. Brief forays into a civilized wilderness.
But you kept going back.
Would you not do the same? Your world is an unforgiving and cold place. The wilds I hail from is home to me, and I a natural denizen. For all that I had been taught, however, the truth of the civilized lands proved to be overwhelming.
Oh?
I was unfamiliar with so much. So confident and bold was I, yet there was much that Flemeth could never have prepared me for.
Let's see. That's very daring. That does just sound like you. Yes.
Equal parts daring and foolhardy, perhaps. Only once was I accused of being a witch of the wilds, and that by a chastened who happened to be travelling with a merchant caravan.
Oh.
He pointed and gasped and began shouting in his strange language, and most assumed he was casting some curse upon me. I acted the terrified girl, and naturally, he was arrested.
Nice. That was quick thinking, yes.
Men are always willing to believe two things about a woman. One, that she is weak, and two, that she finds him attractive.
I mean, that's
I
true.
played the weakling and battered my eyelashes at the captain of the guard. Child's play. The point being that I was able to move through human lands fairly easily. Whatever humans think a witch of the wild looks like, 'tis not I. Not that I did not have trouble. There are things about human society which have always puzzled me, such as the touching. Why all the touching for a simple greeting?
I mean, I have no idea. I'm not human. Oh, handshake? Maybe handshake.
To begin with, yes. What is the point of touching my hand? I find it an offensive intrusion. There were many nuances that Flemeth could never tell me of. When to look into another's eyes. How to eat at a table. How to bargain without offending. None of these things I knew. I still do not understand it all, truth be told, but then I gave up long ago any hope of doing so. When I returned to the wilds last, I swore to Flemeth that I had no intention of leaving again.
I mean, Flemeth didn't care to teach Morgan a lot of stuff because she wanted to take over her body. That was unnecessary knowledge from her point of view. But I'm glad it worked this way, at least.
Yes? Let's ignore the entire Darkspawn threat and the presence of a simpleton as your only other Grey Warden ally, then. Not that I lack appreciation for the intent of your comment. Thank you. Well, let's get on with it before the ground opens up and swallows us, yes?
Okay.
I
Or
await
we
your
have to
command.
talk to make her fall
So,
in love with
full
us.
of questions, are you?
Okay. Have you ever been hunted by the Chantry? She did say she was accused of being a witch once, but no, she actually probably wasn't.
You are very cute to ask so many questions.
I'm glad you think so, but that was probably sarcasm, wasn't it? I mean, let's Let's counter with you're also cute, yes.
Really? Perhaps we should be wrapped in ribbons and adorned with flowers. So cute are we, too. My mother has been hunted from time to time, yes, by Templar fools like Alistair, which should tell you how successful they generally were. Flemeth
Okay.
made a bit of a game of it, in fact. The Templars would come again, and she would look at me and smile and say that the fun was to begin once more.
Oh, she probably killed them, didn't she? I kind of feel sorry for the Templars. No. I, I guess. Yeah.
They came with as much swagger and arrogance as they did self-righteousness. Pity them if you wish, for they held none for us. Flemeth would warn them, once. 'Twas a warning they inevitably failed to heed. And then
Okay.
the true game began. Often Flemeth would use me as bait. A little girl to scream and run and lure the Templars deeper into the wilds and to their doom.
Okay. I mean, I bet more of them would follow.
Sometimes. Eventually. Thankfully, the wilds is a vast place. Once they found us, Flemeth would simply move us elsewhere and we would be lost within the forest once again. I did not understand the danger we faced until I was much older. I had never heard of apostates or maleficarum.
Okay. Let's see. Well, they did get what they deserved. Sure.
Perhaps they did. Still, I do not begrudge them doing what they believe is necessary. The Chantry sees any mages not leashed to the Circle of Magi as apostates, and apostates could become maleficarum, evil mages that resort to blood magic and become demon-enslaved abominations. It may even be true, still, those of us who prefer freedom see no reason to submit.
Okay. Let's see. I guess if I were a mage, I guess I would think the same.
Thank you for small favors, then, at the very least. Enough of this talk. Let us return to the task at hand.
Okay. More!
I await your command. So, full of questions, are you?
Is Flemeth really what she seems to be? No, she isn't. She was a dragon. We killed her.
Well, that depends, does it not? What does she seem to be?
Well, a nutty old bat.
Sometimes I do wonder the very same thing. Tell me, how much do you know of the tale? The one that the chastened still tell of my mother, to frighten them into obedience.
I mean, I didn't even know there was such a thing. I'm a dwarf.
Ah, I see. That does explain much. I can relay what Flemeth once told me herself, and you can decide whether or not 'tis the truth, if you desire.
I mean, sure, tell me. That sounds interesting.
As the tale is sung by the bards, there was a time when Flemeth was young and beautiful, a fair lass in a land of barbarian men, the desire of any who saw her.
Okay. And just how long ago is this?
Many centuries, before this land was even named Ferelden.
Okay.
The tales say that Flemeth fell in love with Osen the Bard, and fled the castle of her husband, the dread Lord Conabar, and that he swore vengeance for her infidelity. In truth, my mother claims that 'twas Osen who was her husband, and Conabar the jealous lord who looked on from afar. Lord
Okay.
Conabar approached young Osen and offered him wealth and power in exchange for his lovely wife, and Osen agreed.
Oh, that's kind of... okay. She must have been angry.
The life of a bard is a poor one, and love fades in the wake of hunger. 'Twas Flemeth who suggested the arrangement.
Oh, okay.
All would have been well had Lord Conabar kept his end of the bargain. But he was a foul man who bargained with coin he did not possess. Osen was led off to a field and slain, left for dead. Flemeth spoke to the spirits and learned of the deed, and swore revenge.
Okay. But wasn't she now married to a wealthier man?
That was not the point. Conobar had no honor, so she would not have him.
Oh, okay.
Flemeth begged the spirits to aid her, and 'twas they who slew Conobar. The demon the legend tells of came later.
Oh.
Lord Conobar's allies chased Flemeth, you see. Chased her to the wilds, and there she hid. There she found the demon, and he made her strong.
Okay.
The legends all speak of the great hero Cormac, he who defeated Flemeth and her great army when she invaded the lowlands centuries later. All lies.
Okay. Which one? That she never invaded, or she never was defeated?
The truth of the matter is that there was never an invasion.
Okay.
As Flemeth tells it, the Chastened never raised an army under her banner, and she never fought with any warrior named Cormac. Cormac led a brutal civil war against his own people, and later claimed it was to vanquish evil that had taken root amongst the lords. Thus, he was hailed a hero.
Oh, okay.
Flemeth was only attached to the legend much later. Perhaps 'twas due to the Great War with the Chastened that eventually came, but Mother claims not to know how it began.
She claims. Okay. Well, how is it that she survived for so long? We know about that. Well, the legend says something about her having many daughters.
You ask if I have sisters. I have asked of this myself. The stories tell of many witches of the wilds after all, not just the one. And these tales existed long before I did.
Okay.
Flemeth refuses to speak of other daughters, if they existed. So, should I believe I am her first? I doubt that too.
I mean, we already know Flemeth wanted to take over her body. Well, let's talk about everything. Why would she refuse to speak of the sisters?
The Chastened tell of a falling out between Flemeth and her daughters. They say that one day she hunted them all through the wilds and ate their hearts. It may be true. I have never seen another witch or heard of one. Perhaps one day Flemeth will eat my heart as well.
Okay. Do you believe her version?
I do not believe everything that Flemeth claims. Oft it seems her bitterness has coloured her memories. But on the whole, yes, I believe this tale, if not all.
Okay. And how did she survive for so long? I mean, we know the answer, but...
The demon within her has transformed her into something else. An abomination, perhaps some would say. I know not. I only know my mother is clever, and she is part of the wilds as it is part of her.
Okay.
But she is no immortal. She bleeds. A blade in her heart would kill her like any other, were it lucky enough to find her.
Okay, aren't abomination usually insane horrors?
How often is this usually? Always? If not always, then when is it not true? There are more things in this world and the next than you or I could ever hope to understand. What Flemeth became is a mystery. I suspect even to her.
Yeah, I mean, I know that, I think in the second game... Oh wait, not in the second game, in this game, but in Awakening. There is... An abomination usually is like when a spirit takes over a body, possesses a body. But if it's willing and if it's on equal terms, it's something different. I think. Maybe I'm thinking about something else, but usually when it's just take over and assume direct control, then that's an abomination. Well, that's an interesting story at least. Thank you.
Flemeth tells it with far more embellishment than I, but you are welcome. Dare I ask of your own mother? Few are abominations of legend, 'tis true, but I find myself curious nevertheless.
Oh, I don't know what happened to my mother. Well, I'm pretty sure she's not alive, because we never met her. There's nothing really to say about her. I guess she died? Let's just assume that my character's mother died during childbirth.
Ah, then you have my sympathies for what it is worth. Which is very little, I am certain.
Wait.
It matters not.
I'm the second.
Let us move on.
I'm the second son. Balin was the third one. Well, no matter.
I await your
We could have had
command.
different mothers, yes.
So,
Can we talk about something
full of
else?
questions, are you?
So, Flemeth's dead. What's now? What now?
Now I have time to find some way to prevent Flemeth from stealing my body in the future, even without her grimoire. For she will be back. One day, I have no doubt of that.
Oh,
And if I cannot protect myself, one day I will track her down again in whatever body she inhabits, and she will die again and again if need be.
okay.
But there is no need to think of such things now. I have you to thank for saving me, so let us return to the task of dealing with the Darkspawn, no?
Okay. You know you can always rely on me, yes?
Too much could happen in days to come to make such promises. Yet I am grateful. Let us go. There is much to be done before... There is still much to be done.
Okay, can we talk
I
even more?
await your So, full of questions.
Teach me about shape
Possibly,
changes.
if I had the desire to.
Oh.
I do not.
As you wish. Okay. So we've done everything there.
Indeed.
Indeed.
We don't travel yet. Let's give her the grimoire. Morgan. Take this.
Mother's real grimoire, is it?
Yes.
I am glad you were able to find it after all. My thanks for retrieving it.
You're welcome.
I shall begin studying it immediately and unlock the power that it holds.
Quest completed. So that's done.
It is a curious thing. I do not know how else to describe it.
Oh, what happened? Did you have your first feeling now? What, is something wrong?
No, nothing is wrong. It is a little embarrassing to admit, in fact. I am reminded of our first meeting in the wilds. I had been in animal form for some time, watching your progress. I knew immediately that you were far more formidable than the other men you traveled with. I found you intriguing.
Oh.
Yet I resented it when Flemeth assigned me to travel with you. I assumed that, at best, you would drive me from your company as soon as we left the wilds.
And why would I do that?
I am aware that I have little talent for forming friendships, to put it lightly. It is something I know nothing of, nor ever thought I needed.
Okay.
Yet when I discovered Flemeth's plans, you did not abandon me. Whatever your reasons, you fought what must have been a terrible battle without hope of real reward.
No, that's fine. It was not such a terrible battle, trust me. Okay, sure.
Even so, you went. No one has ever... It was unexpected. That is all. The extent of my usefulness does not explain the interest and kindness you have shown since the wilds. You could as easily have ignored me entirely, yet you did not. You will need to forgive me for speaking so awkwardly, but do you suppose that we have become friends, you and I? I have nothing to compare it to.
Let's see. I mean... I was hoping to be a little bit more. Yes.
As was I.
Okay. Now we have Romance Morrigan. So we don't have to worry about something that happens later. Oh, I think Alice is going to be commenting on this.
I see the stories they tell of Grey Warden endurance are not exaggerated.
No, I'm just a dwarf. I'm just hard as a rock. I mean, yeah. Oh, there's stories?
Indeed there are. The unanswered question, of course, is whether the endurance exists because of the taint within you, or because the Grey Wardens are by nature so very healthy. I enjoy the thought that 'tis a little of both. Natural prowess, driven by a darker side.
I mean, I do guess that in order to be able to not die from the taint, you do have to have some natural constitution, a lot of it. So, no?
That is entirely up to you. Simply know that I have no designs on your independence. I wish only to do what I desire, and if that coincides with what you desire, then so be it. And should you decide not to continue our misadventure, then so be it. Very simple, is it not?
I guess it is. And what about love? Does it enter the picture?
Oh, now you ruin the mood by speaking profanities. Silly man. Come then, let us be off before the others begin to stare.
Okay. Oh, she's upset because we talked about love. Yes, that's fine. Doesn't matter really. Now then, we've done that. That was good. I don't think she got anything. Any bonus skills. We would have seen it. We could give runes to the circles. We don't want to give them runes. What runes do I have? An expert dwemer. No. Wait. Who's got... Oh, Olgan has it. Give it back to me. So let's see. We got this 50%, 80%. Okay, and then when we get this, not Starfang. I know what I want. I'm gonna want the, a nice hammer after. I think after completing 3 quests, we get a nice hammer in Denerim. So the next main quest I'm gonna be doing is not gonna be Redcliffe. It's gonna be the Brazilian forest. However, before we do that, we do have to go to Orzammar. There's a few things we have to do. We have to go to Dagna, to Rogek. We have to bring a guy a notice of termination. And go to the deep roads to use... I mean... draw some runes on a place of power. So, to Orzammar. And this should be quick enough.
Indeed. Indeed.
Okay. You have a nice party. Orzammar. Or is it here? Where is the guy gonna be? I have no idea. Oh yeah, we've been here. I remember. Loderen is dead. I think if we're going to be going to Denerim, that's when... Oh, he's not there, okay. Yeah, that's fine, we can go barefoot. I will also activate all of these. Yeah, we've got an amazing reserves of stamina, actually. 150. And when we sometimes use rage, we're gonna have 130. Yeah, we've got good amounts.
Looks like the fighting has finally started.
What am I gonna be wanting to do next? I guess I want Mental Fortress.
Too much. I hope they work
To
it
have
out, I guess.
abilities there, because I have everything in two-handed. I mean, I could want Perfect Striking, but I think Mental Fortress and then Constraint. Level 15, huh.
Van Brona.
What's my level
Got his
15?
helmet
I
handed
think
to
I'm gonna
him.
get like 5 levels? I don't remember at what level you finish the base game. Really not sure. Doesn't matter too much. Nope, this is not
Show
here.
some pity for a poor old man.
No, I've already gave some...
So, you
in the Grey Warden, huh?
I hope you're not referring to Alistair.
Him? Does he even like girls?
I believe the matter is still up for debate.
Anyway, you and the Grey Warden,
Do you actually have a question, Dwarf, or is it your intention simply to leer and drool?
stick with the classics. Leer and drool.
I thought so.
Okay. Dagna is here. I know she's here. Yes. Where is this guy? The other is procuring a slightly rarer item from Orzammar, so he could be in the imports shop. Well, let's actually go to the imports shop first. Maybe he's here?
Stone preserve King Balin.
No.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. So I guess we could go the armorers and Dagna. Let's go to Dagna first because she's here. Hello, Dagna.
Hello, how can I... It's you! And it's been, well, quite a while. Enough time to get to the circle and back, I hope.
Yes.
Oh, please tell me what they said.
They said yes. The first enchanter Erwing accepted you for study.
Ancestors, bless you. I can't believe it. There hasn't even been a dwarven observer in the circle since Urelden in the 13th century.
Oh, so there was the dwarf there.
I need to pack. No, my parents would get suspicious. I need to go. Is there anything I should bring? Books? Tuition?
Oh, well, a little token of your gratitude would be nice. No, I don't care about that. Just go. The mages need all the allies they can get.
Then I should go before my parents come looking for me. If you ever go to the circle again, maybe I'll see you there.
Oh, do I have to go to the circle? No, the quest has been completed. Okay. Is the mage guy here? No. Where's the mage that has stuff? He's been procuring some kind of item. Here. Maybe in the chantry? No, that would make sense. Because if I didn't complete the chantry quest, it wouldn't be accessible. Well, whatever. Let's go to Dusttown because we have to go to Rogek. He did promise me 20 gold. Oh, fuck. The game crashed.